Hey guys, latest news with Crypto Marie local and international. Trump administration plans sweeping layoffs among workers who don't opt to resign. The Trump administration is planning widespread layoffs among the federal workforce soon, leaving employees who don't accept its deferred resignation offer at risk of losing their jobs. Trump's administration officials told CNN. The layoffs, which are being referred to internally as sweeping reductions in force, are expected to begin soon after the Thursday deadline that the personal management set for workers to accept the resignation package, the official said. The package allows them to leave voluntarily and be paid through September 30, but not have to continue working. Federal workers' unions, however, have strongly opposed the controversial offer, which was unveiled in a mass email from the OPM to federal employees on January 28th. Now, 20,000 people I heard accepted the offer. Let me ask those 20,000 people, whatever amount of money you get for the 8 months, because what I heard from Bernie Sanders, the government don't have that kind of money to pay people for not working unless he get it out of his pocket. That will never happen. Congress have to pass a bill to allow them to pay those people. So I don't know where they're gonna get that money from. Is it just a proposal? How do you know he's going to pay you once you resign? And if you get that money, what are you going to do with that sum of money? Are you able to pay your bills for the 8 months and look for something else? Are you able to find something else? What are you going to do once that money is done? Do you have a plan to put in action? Are you going to invest in some of that money? How much money can it be that you are able to make it without having a job for 8 months? You got to think about not every offer sound good, look good is actually good. What are you going to do after the money is gone? On Tuesday, the American Federation of Government Employees and several other unions filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court in Massachusetts seeking a temporary restraining order to halt the February 6th deadline. The unions also want to require the government to articulate a policy that is lawful rather than an arbitrary, unlawful short-fuse ultimatum which workers may not be able to enforce. More than 20,000 staffers have agreed to the deferred resignation offer, one of the administration officials said. 20,000. Okay. That number is rapidly growing, according to the official, who noted that the 20,000 figure isn't current. We're expecting the largest spike to come 24 to 48 hours before the deadline, the official told CNN. The 20,000 figure represents about 1% of the roughly 2 million federal employees who received the offer. The White House has said its target is for between 5 and 10% of employees to resign. However, OPM is continue to warn employees that those who do not opt in to the program could lose their jobs and, at the very least, will be required to return full-time to the office. One of the Trump administration officials described the deferred resignation program as a generous voluntary option, really, for workers who could ultimately be laid off in the coming weeks as part of the President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's plans to massively scale back the size of the government. Now listen to this carefully. I'm not crazy, but common sense will help me understand this. You wanna let 2 million people go from federal work job related, but you wanna give 1% tax cut to the billionaires that don't need it. Can you please make that make sense? The reality is clear. A large-scale reduction in response to the president's workforce executive orders It's already happening. The government is reconstructing, and unfortunately, many employees will later realize they missed a valuable once in a lifetime opportunity, the official said. OPM is also sweetening the pot for older federal workers. It is now offering an early retirement incentive known as Voluntarily Early Retirement Authority, or VERA, to those who meet the eligibility criteria and who opt into the deferred resignation program. A source familiar with the offer told CNN on Tuesday employees must be at least 50 years of, oh my God, 60 years old with at least 20 years of service, or be any age with at least 25 years of service. Some 2.4 million people work for the federal government, not including postal workers, who are not eligible for the deferred retirement package. Also excluded are military personnel and those in positions related to immigration enforcement and national security, among others. Now, guys, listen to this. It sounds good for people who's 60 or 65, but if somebody's 30 or 40 and you take that deal, what are you going to do after the 8 months salary is over? Oh, it sounds good to have free money, stay home, don't go to work. But what is your next plan? Is it going to worth it? Taking that 8-month amount of whatever it is, I'm sure it's not $100,000. And what are you going to do with that money? That's one thing. Secondly, this man supposedly want to make America great again. So if you let 2-point-something million people go, isn't it going to affect the job? Are we going to go back into a recession when former President Joe Biden was trying to stabilize the whole thing? Now, there was a certain amount of job you're supposed to be reported every Friday, I think, yes. How many people are hired, how many people get laid off. So you come into office, you are asking people to resign. You are asking people, if they don't resign, you're going to fire them. Is that going supposed to help the American job labor? Is it going to help it or decline? Maybe something wrong with my head, I can think. But I don't think it's going to help. If those people that are supposed to be working, whether they are at home or at the office, are no longer have a job, do you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is the fact that those people after the 8 months might not be able to pay for their rent, for their bills, for their kids' future, education, everything included. They might not even be able to eat. So we're going to have a lot of homeless people. We're going to have a lot of problem, which I don't think people think about the negative effect that's going to impact those people that take the deal to take the 8 months worth of salary and go home, be happy. You're going to be happy in a short term. Then what else are you going to do? I'm just saying. Subscribe. Thank you for watching.